Holtz, and today I have a video for you for the sketches for the 6x6 paper pad. This is a 20-week class that is offered by Scrapbook Generations. It is paid content, so I cannot show you the sketches that we will be using. And I actually used a variation of the sketch that Allison provided. The class is really awesome. She provides with a sketch, and then she also provides you with several different variations so that you can come up with different ideas in regards to how to use these particular sketches. I am using this paper pad, which is super old. It's from KI Memories from 2012, and I got it from Tuesday Morning. It's called the Celebrate paper pad. And these colors, the purples and oranges and teals, are my friend Tina's favorite color scheme. So I thought it would be perfect to do her photos from her birthday. So on the left-hand side of the layout, I did cut out a bunch of 2x2 squares, and I did this layout or similar layout to this a couple weeks ago, and I will link it below for you guys. But I really am liking this style of adding a smaller embellishments. The one that I did before was for stars, and then just adding a bunch of different clusters to all of the smaller shapes there. So I do end up pulling out my embellishment book and getting a bunch of different embellishments on there, and I think that this layout turns out really awesome. So I did get a 2x2 square die. I think I had told you guys before that I needed a punch or a die because I was doing like a 1x1, and that was just crazy. So the die that I did pick up, it was 1, 2, 3, and 4 inches. So I think I am covered. And then it also has dots on the edge of it. So you'll be able to see that in the close-ups at the end. It's actually called the Small Dotted Square Die from Lawn Fawn. And I picked that up on Etsy. So for the right-hand side of the layout, I decided to go ahead and use 2 pieces of 6x6 paper that is the exact same sheet of paper, and I covered the center up all the way down. So in the center of the layout there are photos, but then at the top and the bottom of that I do go ahead and put another border down there with the polka dots, and then I also use some stars to cover up the space there. Now this paper was from a paper pad, and because it was from a paper pad, it is not true 6x6, so it did not go all the way to the edge. And so I made that in the center, was able to cover that up. I was able to pull out, like I said, a lot of different pieces from my embellishment book, but I did want to add a couple of presents from the paper that came in this paper pad as well. So I did fussy cut a couple of those, and I made sure to fussy cut the ones that were straight and didn't have to worry about the bows or anything like that. All the bows were contained inside the squares. And so while I put all of these together, I do cut out some of it, but I wanted to show you guys how simple this is. Really, I just pulled out a bunch of different embellishments that went with this paper line and just figured out where to go in the squares. I mainly used the squares that were the solid color, not a print, and added to those first, and then went back and added some of the smaller embellishments to the ones that actually have patterns on them with the stars or the banners or the chevrons. I was able to purchase a couple punches from Tuesday Morning, and they are star punches that actually have pointy stars. So I was glad to find those. I think I mentioned that in one of my previous videos, and then all of a sudden they show up. So maybe I should mention some things that I am looking for more often on my videos and have them show up. So I did want to give you guys an update on my spending freeze. I think I told you guys about at the beginning of the year, around my 2-year mark, I gave you guys an update that I was only planning on spending $100 this entire year. And then that went out the window when Coco Vanilla's Legendary Collection came out, because that was just so gorgeous. I had to have that. But then all of the stuff that is going on in the world happened, and I really felt like it was important that I supported our smaller scrapbooking stores. So some of the things that I have been purchasing, I did purchase a couple from Tuesday Morning, because even though they're not a smaller company, if you have followed any of the news at all, you'll know that they are also having financial hardship. So I wanted to go in there and, spend a little bit of money to help with that situation. There's no way is my spending going to help with their bankruptcy issues, but hopefully by spending it will help them a little bit. So I did purchase from Tuesday morning, and then I also went onto Etsy and found a couple of different shops on Etsy that were selling different items that I could use in my scrapbooks. So I will be showcasing those later in different videos, and I will definitely make sure that I link to those Etsy shops below, because I think that it is extremely important that we support our scrapbooking community at this time, because it's hard for everyone across the board, but I don't want to see any of our scrapbooking stores, or whether they're brick and mortar stores or small business stores, I don't want to see any of those go out of business. And so I want to support them. That's what I'm going with in regards to spending money and actually having more scrapbooking supplies in my scrap room, even though I probably don't necessarily need it. So while I did all that rambling, I did add a bunch of different embellishments to the different squares. And like I said, I used my punch to punch out some of those stars. I got a confetti punch, as well as I think it's probably a 1/2 inch star, maybe a 1 inch star. And I just love the way that those stars actually look like stars, and they're not rounded corners. So some of the small stickers, I'm not sure if you guys can see them, but some of them say more of this, shine, amazing, make a wish, good times, never met a cupcake I didn't love, gather together, it's a party, hooray, and then my title is going to be happy birthday. And I did use a blue shiny happy and then some gold thickers to spell out the word birthday, and then those gold thickers do have a teal base to them, so that it also really matches and brings in the layout as well. So here is my final layout, as well as some close-ups. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because that's all you're going to get on my channel. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.